Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's episode, we are going to do our Week 15 award show. So let me know in the comments down below if you would give one of these awards to a different player, team, or coach. And also let me know what awards you would give out for this week of the NFL season. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before I do, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's start with our first award. We're going to try to do it in 10 minutes or less. Let's give the first award out to the Game of the Week award. This award is going to go to the Lions versus the Bills. The Lions lost to the Bills 48-42. A total of 90 points were scored, 1,000 total yards, over 1,000 total yards, and 6 touchdowns by each team. Now, this game was never really I don't think it was ever really in question. The score kind of makes it look a little bit closer than actually what it was, but I gave it to these two teams because it was the most important game, but also like the fireworks. It was really entertaining. Jared Goff had 5 total touchdowns. Josh Allen had 4, 2 passing, 2 rushing. Cook had over 105 yards running the ball. Brown, 14 receptions, almost 200 yards, 193 receiving. And then Ty Johnson, who was drafted by the Detroit Lions back in the day, I think in 2019, he had 5 receptions for 114 yards, probably the best game of his career against his former team. And it was just overall an entertaining game. Uh, some bad things came out of that game for Detroit Lions fans, but for the most part, very entertaining game to watch. So we're going to give Game of the Week to the Bills versus the Dolphins, the Lions. The game for the week, we're going to give to the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams beat the 49ers 12-6. It was just a really sad game to watch. It was. It was a Thursday night game, not very entertaining for like a divisional matchup. And I'm not, it's not that the points were low. Some games can be entertaining when it isn't super high scoring. This wasn't one of those games. Stafford didn't play particularly well. Brock Purdy played pretty bad. He had a 20.3 QBR. There was a total of 6 field goals in this game. And as you guys know, if you've listened to my podcast, if you watch my YouTube channel, I'm not a big fan of Thursday Night Football because I just think it's a lesser quality of game most of the time, generally speaking. We got spoiled a couple of weeks this year, but for the most part, it's just not a fun game to watch. And that's why the Niners and Rams game, I think, was just not that great. And that's why they get the Game for the Week award. The MVP award of Week 15, I'm going to give it to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, the Bucks put up 40 points against one of, if not the best scoring defense coming into Week 15, the Chargers. 40-17, the Bucks win, and Baker Mayfield was really good in this game. He was 22 of 27. He had a 94.7 QBR with 4 touchdowns. He did have a pick, but some of the throws he made were ridiculous. The way he can escape pressure, extend plays, really helped the Bucks to find a way to beat a very, very good team. And I continue to say that the Buccaneers are underrated, and so is Baker Mayfield. I think this is a team you kind of have to watch being a little bit of a spoiler in the playoffs because when they're clicking, they look good. So Baker Mayfield gets my MVP of Week 15. Let's go to the next award. Sharing is caring. Now, I could have given this to the Indianapolis Colts, who I think had a total of 3 interceptions, and one of them being the screen pass to back to Richardson to try to get something going that ended up for a touchdown. However, I don't think the Colts are really in like a playoff position right now, so I'm giving it to Tua. Tua had 3 interceptions, and 3 of them were all bad. 2 of them were awful, and one of them, Tyreek had his hands on the ball, probably should have caught it, and Stingley, I think it was, just ripped it away from him. That's fine. It was underthrown. It was an underthrown pass. The other two, I know there were some people, Tua defenders, and I love Tua. I think he's a good quarterback. If everything's perfect for him, he can be a great quarterback. We saw it. He was basically an MVP, I think, last season for most of the season. He was an MVP candidate, but he needs the offense to run smoothly. And when you throw any of the timing off for the Dolphins, it hurts Tua and it hurts the Dolphins. So to me, it's the biggest Achilles heel that a quarterback that has the notoriety that Tua has. It's the biggest one that I can think of any of the top 15 quarterbacks in the league. So Tua, a big game. They needed to win it. And as a Dolphin fan, it's rough to watch because you want Tua to succeed, but those three interceptions were rough. So sharing his carrying award goes to Tua. Line in the sand award. So this, I don't know if you remember when you were kids, you draw a line in the sand and say you can't pass this line, you can't cross this line. Somebody must have told Jonathan Taylor you can't cross this line with the football because the line in the sand award goes to Jonathan Taylor. The Indianapolis Colts were up 13-7 against the Denver Broncos, and the Broncos won this game 31-13. So after this moment, the Colts did not score. The Colts would have been up 20-7 at this point in the game. I think it was like in the middle of the third quarter, and Jonathan Taylor did not hold the ball across the goal line. He let go of it too early and it awarded the ball to the Broncos. Now, I think he needs to start watching film on Barry Sanders. This was one of the protections that Barry Sanders had when he would like hold the ball and then hand it to the referee is like you always know it's a touchdown. Now, I'm not saying you can't celebrate, but I just think like if you hand the ball to the ref, you're good. I just don't understand how NFL players do it. I'm not an NFL player. I'm not saying like I would never do that because I just don't know. I would like to think I'd never do that, but man, that was a huge, huge brain fart on Jonathan Taylor's part. So, Line in the Sand award goes to Jonathan Taylor. Blast from the Past award. We're going to give this to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams had 9 receptions for 198 yards and 2 TDs. Aaron Rodgers, he had a QBR of 79.9, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. It was just kind of a vintage performance by both of them in that connection. So I thought I'd give them an award this week. In the last 4 minutes, and here's an interesting stat. In the last 4 minutes, Devontae Adams had 135 yards receiving, which is the most in the final 4 minutes of any game in this century. Now, I do want to call out that one over the shoulder pass catch. Like it was, I think it was supposed to be back shoulder. It ended up being like this side of the hand. And then he kept his 2 feet in bounds. Like Adams is such a great wide receiver. That play alone just showed it. And I think it like also shows like Aaron Rodgers in moments shows that he still has it. I know my friend Luke was watching the game and me and him were kind of texting about it because he's a Jaguars fan. And he's like, I think Rodgers is still good. He didn't say great. He's still good. And the Jets are a really bad team. And that could be true, by the way. That could be true, but who knows? We'll have to kind of examine that. But overall, the award, Blast from the Past, that goes to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Squeaky Wheel. We're going to give a Squeaky Wheel award. Normally, we don't like to award those who complain, but we are today. We're going to give it to A.J. Brown after all the drama with him and Jalen Hurts. He was a squeaky wheel, and he had 8 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown, helping the Philadelphia Eagles win 27-13. And I just think AJ Brown is one of those guys that should not go. Obviously, there'll be the general rule should be he should not get 5 receptions. He should at least get 5 receptions a game. General rule. It's like a Calvin Johnson rule or a Randy Moss rule. You just want these guys to have the ball 5 times a game at least. And I do understand why Brown would be upset. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rule, but that's the general rule. So he complained, and guess what? It worked out for him this week. Finally, one last award. We're going to give Point of No Return. The Point of No Return award goes to the Detroit Lions. They have, 4 new guys on IR Carlton Davis, McNeil, Dorsey, and Montgomery. 22 players on IR is ridiculous, guys. That's how many the Lions have. Now, I know the common rebuttal is like injuries are a part of football. 22 people is ridiculous, guys. I want just to give you sort of an idea. Packers, Minnesota, Philadelphia have a total of 8 combined. And now that was a tweet I read, so hopefully that's accurate, but I want to believe it. Having injuries is a part of football. Having this many injuries is absolutely ridiculous. And so I think the Lions, their offense will still be good. Their defense is just not going to be there. The pass rush is not there. I don't know if I can blame Aaron Glenn. I don't know if I can blame this team. I want to think about this more as we do more podcasts this week. But anyway, point of no return goes to the Detroit Lions. Okay, that's all the awards I have for today. Let me know in the comments down below. Did I give the awards to the right person? Did I not? The right team? Did I not? Let me know your thoughts on Week 15. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.